I'm gonna go to the game tomorrow night, and probably not gonna get out till like 9. I probably want to get home to like 9:45, 10. So I was like, yeah, we can talk a little bit tonight. Talk about some stuff. You're gonna have to help me out with a couple of these games because I ain't. I got so turned off by fantasy football. I figured you was gonna beat me this weekend, but I ain't think my whole team was gonna turn into the mash unit overnight. God, dog, man, like I can't keep nobody healthy on my damn team.
That's
Everybody,
wild. Well, let me just say, you were the only one that thought I was gonna beat you because I definitely look. I've been losing so much. I was just like, oh, okay, we're gonna lose because it was like my third win in that league this year. It's
it's
terrible.
it was opposite day because all the losing teams, I think, won in our league this weekend. I
That's
think
fine.
like Jason lost. I think Dave was the only one that survived, but like I mean Marvin. I think Dave lost, Jason lost, I lost. I think BJ.
That's funny.
All of the losers, like three of the four, like you won, Jamel won, my old barber won. I think he was 500 or something though. So I was just like,
Yeah, like I said, oh, now y'all want to show up. Like I've been so frustrated with this squad this year. So frustrated.
I watch the Dolphins Commanders. Well, watch most of the game. I was working on the
Hmm.
things for the radio show. Um, and that damn, I had a bad feeling because Waddle dropped three passes. Like dropped three passes. Like I don't think he's ever had three drops in his career in a game.
That,
And I'm talking critical. Well, not one of them was a critical, but one of them was like his signature. Like every player's got kind of like their signature route. Well,
right.
Jalen Waddle's signature route is a skinny post deep cross. They ran
True.
it to perfection. If he catches it, it's like lights out. It's done. He's gone. You know what I'm saying? And he dropped the ball. I was over. I dropped my headphones at him. Start my mix over. I was like, God dog it, bro. Like really, you dropping that? Like that's your play. That play is
That's
designed
your
for you
play.
in this offense. That is your play.
That's
They
funny.
dropped another one right before they went to overtime. They could have won it
Mhm.
in regulation. Oh man, I was like, okay, it's gonna be one of those days. Then I saw Jacobs got hurt. I said, here we go. Jacobs got hurt. The Cardinals running back got hurt. I'm like, everybody getting hurt. I'm done. I can't do nothing with this. I'm done with this today. So
Yeah, it was a rough
Boom.
weekend.
It was brutal. It was brutal. But I guess basically, let's see. I mean, Patriots beat the Jets Thursday. We figured that. Um,
Yeah.
I'll tell you though. Ah, but there was a surprise. I mean, we can spend no time on this, but you were right early because you like, man, the Panthers usually get their butt waxed in Atlanta, and then all of a sudden Atlanta just stopped playing or something. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what happened because like, it was definitely going as I anticipated
yeah,
um,
early on, it
with
definitely
the
was.
Falcons, and then all of a sudden, but
They were up 21-10, and
yeah,
it
the
just
Falcons' inability to close out games,
it's yeah.
I was like, they're about to get their coach
They're
fired.
gonna get that man fired. That man's gonna get fired. He I don't think he survives the off season. I don't think he survives the off season. And
Yeah,
you
like I
know,
don't think
we
I don't think they
like
fired him
Raheem. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he may have to go back to that D coordinator position and just ride that thing out.
some some people are better coordinators than they
It
are
is, yeah.
coaches.
And you just don't know. Like, you want the Panthers to be a feel good story, then they let you down. Then you like, all right, same old Panthers. Then they win. Then it's like feel good story. Then they let you down. And then the same old. So it's like I don't know what to do with them right now. So they're probably happy to get 6 wins. I'm not saying that they didn't think they were going to be better than that or whatever. But I was talking.
No, well, let me say this: most Panther fans didn't think they were going to be better than that.
I got you.
So,
I got you.
um, unless you run across the one or two, like most of them are pretty. The ones that I know are fairly surprised at how well they're
Yeah.
doing. They were like, "We got 6 wins," and it was like it's been a while since we got 6 wins. So they're excited, but they're not over the top thinking they're gonna go to the
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
But
So they're doing pretty good. But like I said, I definitely still expected them to lose this past week because, like I said, they usually get thumped.
Yeah, usually get thumped. Yeah,
they usually get thumped in Atlanta. But like I said, the fact that the Falcons, and I want to say this is like the third game in a row that they've had the lead and lost.
Might be.
I want to say it's the third. I think it's in a row. I think it's the third game in a row. Where they've had the lead and they've lost. And that's why I was like, they're going to get the coach fired. Because at a certain point, if the team can't close out games, it's coaching.
Yep. At the end of the day.
Like it's coaching. It's not them, it's you. It's coaching.
Right. Speaking of, yeah, I'm looking at the Steelers and Bengals. I mean, the Steelers, they did what they're supposed to do. I mean, they was at home. They're playing the Bengals. You did what you're supposed to do. But look, I missed the whole. I guess I read up on it. I missed the whole. I don't know what the hell I was doing. I missed the whole Jalen Ramsey. I saw the ruckus going on with the, you watching Red Zone or whatever. But then they talk about your boy spitting his face. Your boy spit on Jalen.
Yeah, Jamar Chase. He spit on him.
Chase. Good Lord, man. What is that?
And the thing is,
what's going on with the spitting? Like,
I don't know what that's about. And the thing is like, as always, they catch the player that reacts.
Yeah.
That retaliates. Right. So, because I was watching Red Zone too, because the 1:00 games, there were so many good 1:00 matchups.
It was a lot of good ones. Yeah.
That I just had on Red Zone. And so I saw when Ramsey hit him, and I was like, what did he say? Because you couldn't see it at that moment.
Well, yeah, right. What was said? What was said? Right.
Yeah, I was like, what did he say that made him swing on him? And and they were like, oh, whatever it was he said, it couldn't have been that. It's costing this team, and of course, you're going through all of that. And then after the game is over, and they're going back, and it pops up, and they interviewed Ramsey, and he was like, no, he's like, he didn't say anything. He's like, I'm all for trash talk. He said, and he's like, anybody that knows me knows that. And he said, but he spit on me. He said, and at that point, he was like, I don't give a F about football.
Right.
And I was like, that's fair. Yeah. I can appreciate that.
You saw what Mike Tomlin said in the press conference. Was it today or yesterday? He was like, you say anything to him, he was like, somebody spit on you, react naturally. You gotta react naturally. He said, whatever you do, react naturally. So you swinging on the cat, you want to swing on the cat, swing on the cat.
Right. What you want me to say to him?
Right.
And my thing is, but
that was funny.
What has blown me with, I've dubbed this Spitgate 25. What has blown me with this scenario in this whole situation is that after the game, they asked Jamar Chase, and Jamar Chase, in front of God and everybody, has lied to the cameras. I didn't spit on that man. I didn't even open my mouth.
You lied.
And at the time,
I missed that. You lied.
Yes. In front of his locker piece.
Hey, in 2025, there's all types of camera angles and satellites and cell phones, and
you didn't think anybody was gonna catch that. But here's the thing:
NFL films still do their thing, right?
Right. In front of your locker, Mike here. They got mics all up in you. He was like, I didn't spit on that man. He was like, wait. But he was like, I didn't spit on him. I didn't open my mouth. I was like, oh, okay. So he called, because I'm thinking, he said, she said. He said, he said. But, but I was like, okay, well, he said he didn't do it. I saw his clip in front of his locker, and like 30 minutes later was the footage of him spitting. And when I saw it, I said, oh, he didn't do like the little Dak Prescott gentle, I'm gonna barely spit. That man brought the spit from the back of his throat.
Oh God. He
brought the spit from the back of his throat. If you see the video, Pete, when I say when he spit, it's so much saliva coming out of his mouth. And I'm like, sir, did you just say you didn't do that? And the audacity for me is that now that they've seen the NFL, because of course they're going to investigate, because Ramsey said I did it because he spit on me.
Jalen
They've
Ramsey.
investigated, they've suspended you, and you got the audacity to appeal like we haven't watched this video on TV on repeat. Bruh.
I first of all, to everybody out there, you know, whatever sport you're playing, whatever, like, I don't really, it doesn't really matter. You know, I played the sport growing up that you do the most spitting, but it's just part of the game, but it's not you spitting on people. That's baseball. You either spitting out sunflower seeds or you people. Well, I didn't chew tobacco as a kid. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing it.
Well, we appreciate you not chewing tobacco.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But there were some that were, you know, and they chew the gum, and you know, you would chew your gum and pretend, you know, you're spitting, you know, whatever. But what just naturally makes you think of that in the moment of the heat of the battle? I'm in the heat of the battle, and I want to spit on you, like. How does that come to your brain, like the top of your mind, that I'm going to spit on you? Like, like most people would be like, oh man, he swung on that dude. Oh man, you know what? He did this. Oh man, I'm going to spit on you. Like, I'm so mad and I'm so angry. I'm going to spit on you. That is the thing that I thought to do, and I do it. Damn right you need to get your ass whipped if somebody, like, you get caught in the damn parking lot. Hey, all bets are off. You get...
Right. And that's the thing, like they were, because yesterday I was watching Get Up, and they had was it Damian Woody?
Yeah.
He was, you know, and they showed the video and stuff. Damian Woody was like, he said, listen, he said, I am not mad at Jalen Ramsey. He said, because if you spit on me, he said, not only am I swinging on you on the field, he said, but I'm gonna come down to the locker after the locker.
That's what I'm saying.
He said, you're gonna have to see me after the game, because that is the most disrespectful thing you can do to another man.
That right there is the type of stuff where you do not flinch if someone said they had to get security to be down to separate some situations that were going on.
Right.
I'm sorry. Like I don't.
He said,
I've gotten mad in the battle.
He was like, if we'd have had reports of Ramsey at the Bengals locker room, he was like, it would have made perfect sense to me. He said, because I'm gonna have to see you. And even Jeff Saturday, who I can't imagine fighting anybody. I can't imagine Jeff Saturday fighting anybody. Jeff Saturday was like, if you spit on me, he's like, we are throwing hands. He was like, we are throwing hands. And I was like, first of all, Jeff, what you know about throwing hands? But Jeff was like, hands are going to be exchanged. He said, because you don't get to spit on me and walk away from it. He was like, I don't care. Jeff
Saturday was a little fire. You know, he was a little fire engine back in the day. Like, he don't sleep. Don't sleep. Hell, him and Peyton Manning used to get into arguments. But anyway, that's crazy. So yeah, he's suspended. Whatever. I hope I'm going against Jamar Chase next week in fantasy. That would be perfect.
Look, like I said, he is suspended and appealing. I can't imagine he's gonna win the appeal.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
I was like, there's no way. Shout
out to Mason Rudolph.
Honestly, I feel like they should have given him 2 games.
What you say?
I feel like they should have given Jamar Chase 2 games.
I think it should be 2 games based on what we've already seen. Like, you got to stop. Like, okay, when people always talk about, you said, you know, what's going to be like the natural organic rule. Once somebody violates something, you set that rule. For something like that, I keep adding on. You saw what happened to your boy the first game of the season. You get 2 games. And then if somebody else do it, you get 3 games. And if you do it and see him do it, you get 4. To me, like spitting.
I think it should have been 2 games, because it's. But I get it. You did the 1 game because you had set the precedent when Jalen Carter did it. But I feel like he should have got 2, because it was the blatant lying for me.
The Browns tried to upset the Ravens. All of a sudden, the Ravens defense, now they want to play. They want to play a little bit. You know, who would have figured that? Shout out to Shadeur Sanders, poor thing, running for his ever living life. Talking about, yeah, he did. Yeah, he held the ball a couple of times, whatever. But guys, it's the Browns. He's trying to make a play.
Yeah, it's the Browns.
I mean, like in a couple of plays I saw, the poor kid literally. I mean, he literally caught the ball out of the shotgun, and it was two Ravens in his face every other play. So, like, what do you want him to do?
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, though, what I thought was crazy, it just seems crazy to me, is that he had never had any snaps with the first team. And I'm like, but he's your backup. And I get it.
Yeah, once you made him the backup, it should have been a better plan.
Right. Like when he was third string, I get that. Like if he'd had to go into the game as third string and he had never played with the first string, that makes perfect sense to me. But he is now and has been for almost a month your backup quarterback. I feel like it's been 4 weeks.
It's been 4 games. It's been 4 games. Yep.
Yeah. So for a month, he's been your backup quarterback. And on a Friday or a Saturday walkthrough, nothing. You weren't like, hey, I just need y'all to hear this man's cadence. So in case of emergency, I mean, you know what's happening. I was like,
I wish D was on. I wish D was on because I was going to ask him about that. I mean, I think ideally the person that is the backup usually gets some reps, but at the end of the day, that obviously tells you that they ain't really trying to. Like you, this like somebody. What is somebody? I heard somebody say. I forgot how they put it in words, but it's like it's borderline cruel. Like, why would you do that to him? Like, that's like you definitely ain't trying to win games if you don't have your backup quarterback prepared, and you definitely ain't trying to let this kid shine if you ain't letting him. Like, that's a perfect. Like, you did what you had to do to put him in that position. But now you're not going to do what you have to do to make sure he's successful. He's part of your team. He's part of the team.
So it was weird, and I get it. Like, you don't want to, because you got 2 rookies, it's hard to be like, you can't probably give him as much time as you would give a normal backup simply because you need your rookie quarterback to get as many reps as he can. Mm-hmm. I understand that. But to have him not had any time at all makes absolutely no sense to me. And I don't play the game, but I just feel like I've watched enough football to be like, okay, when the backup gets in the game, the starters have heard something.
I honestly, you know, and again, you know, this look, I don't sensationalize, you know, I don't try to do that, but this man is not. He's not trying to have. I don't think he cares if Shadeur is successful. I honestly don't. He looked bad because he wasn't prepared. They didn't coach him. He didn't practice. Like people talking about, oh, he didn't look good. He didn't practice with the team.
He didn't.
How is he going to look any better than what he was if he did not practice? He's not.
My thing is he looked like, and to me, 5th round, 3rd round, whatever. He looked like what any rookie looks like going into a game in the middle of the game and being tossed in with no preparation.
Against the Ravens defense that actually
defense, I'm playing from behind. So they already know I got to throw the ball. I look a hot mess. Yes, you're right. Going up arguably against, you know, now granted, the defense hasn't been, you know, was atrocious early on, but that dude Hamilton, 14 for the Ravens. Yeah. Now granted, look, people out there don't come after me when I say this, but he plays a little bit like Sean Taylor. He's not Sean Taylor, right?
But his physical features, like the man is what 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, that's a big
playing free safety.
Yeah,
and outside linebacker at the same time.
Yeah,
that's
he's different.
Huh? And he was in the backfield. He was literally hiking the ball to Shadeur Sanders. Okay, hike. Okay, give me that. Take that and let me hit you. Like, poor kid he have a chance.
And part of it was because what was it again? Your guy, Sergeant Jeff Saturday.
Sergeant Friday.
Sergeant Friday. He was saying that he was like, if you've never practiced, he said, because, you know, they were like, because, you know, I think Greeny had made the point. He was like, the O-line seemed to be reacting slowly. And Jeff was like, he said, because he's like, if they hadn't practiced with him, he said, nobody knows the cadence. He said, so trying to avoid a false start penalty, he said the O linemen are probably all now looking at the center trying to see when the ball is snapped.
And they're getting off a half. They're getting off a half.
Yeah, and he was like, they're getting off a second slower. He's like, they're getting off a second slower because they're trying to, they're trying not to hurt the offense by false starting. He said, but nobody knows what his cadence sounds like, so you don't have any anticipation on when the ball's going to be snapped. So you got to watch the center. He said, and if you're watching the center, waiting for the ball to snap, he was like, as an O lineman, if you got to watch for the ball to be snapped, he's like, you've already lost your position.
Hey, speaking of backups, look, Sam Darnold. You know what? I'm gonna give Sam Darnold his one mulligan, but Lord, poor thing.
What was that? 4 interceptions?
4 interceptions, and I'm talking about a couple of them were just horrible, like just bad. I'm watching this game, like, dude, just stop throwing. Just stop throwing. Today you don't have it. Just don't throw. And the funny thing about it is that they still could have won the game. They still could have won the game.
They still almost won. But so that was more so because of their defense than Sam Darnold.
Those, man, I'm gonna tell you that was a like 21-19. It's like, I'm like, that was a really good 21-19 game. Other than the 4 picks, but to give the Rams defense credit, like.
Yeah, the Rams defense was balling.
Yeah, both those defenses are really, really good. I would not be surprised to see these two teams in the Final Four in the NFC easily. But now the Rams are the 1 seed now? The Rams? Or the Eagles? Your boy is still the 1 seed. Because y'all got 2 losses. Y'all the 1 seed still, right?
Yep, we're still 1.
And then the Rams will be 2 now. It looks. No, the Lions. Okay, wait a minute. The Lions, did they play? The
Lions, when we beat them, the Lions fell to 3rd in their division.
Yeah, because they were 3rd in the conference. So the Lions and then Seattle. So I think the Rams, I think, are 2 now.
Yeah, the Rams are 2, and I think the Lions are like 5 or 6 now.
Yeah, then they lost to the Yeah, so they dropped that.
Which little tongue in cheek, they dropped down and got their eagle on. So
you need to stop. And I didn't know if we needed to talk too much about that game. That it just was the Eagles' defense is just. I mean, y'all are coming on, man. Y'all coming on. The offense is. You said it is. I think this year is kind of one of those years where it seems like they just gonna win. They're gonna win and just win whatever way they need to win. And again, I tell people all the time. When a team has been successful, even won a championship, and they play games like this, you give them the benefit of the doubt and you say, okay, I'm going to look at it glass full. They're finding ways to win. But then when you see a team like the Packers or other teams that's struggling, right, and they struggle to win a game here and there, you go half glass empty, I don't trust this team.
Well, let me
That's how I look at it. I'm looking at some of the teams that haven't proven that they can do it. That's why everybody kept giving the Chiefs the benefit of the doubt because they've done it.
Right.
But I think we can start now saying, are these boys going to make the playoffs? Because
well, they can only lose one more game, I think, and then they're out.
Yeah, I mean, we had already said it was, like a must-win each division game to even have a chance to win the division a couple weeks ago. Now that bubble is burst, it's kind of like now, like, are these dudes, like, what's the conference record? I need to see the conference record because
right now they're out of the playoffs.
Yeah, they're not like the 9, like 8 or 9 right now, right?
Yeah, like right now they're out of the playoffs and it's not even close.
So they got so this is what people need to really put in context. Again, people gonna give them half glass full, right? Because 15 and Andy Reid and the championship before, and they've gone to the Super Bowl even though they lost, but they're gone. Blah 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 blah. They're 5-5. They have the same record as the Texans. The Jaguars have a better record. The Chargers have a better record. The Ravens have the same record. And who else? Yeah, they got a long ways. That's it though. You know what? To be honest with you though, okay, you got Patriots, Bills, you got Steelers, but the Steelers are only 6-4. They only one game.
Right, the Ravens are currently running them down.
So to your point, they might could get away with one more loss and have a shot at a wild card, but it's probably not something they need to do. It's probably not something they need to try to figure. They need to, but they not. But the obvious thing is they're not going to win 6 games. They're not. I mean, 7 games. They're not going to win their last 7 games in a row. It's just not that team ain't going to win 7 in a row, especially. So, you know what I'm saying? Like
they play the Colts this week, don't they?
They play the Broncos. What you say?
I think they play the Colts this week too.
Oh God.
Right. Like I think they play. If it's not this week, it's the week after. But I know they got
the Colts. They got the Colts at home. Then they got the Cowboys.
That should be a win.
In Dallas. But you say that, but
I said it should be. But
Dallas,
I don't know.
See, that would be one of them games that Dallas decides to tie you or something. You know, like.
Well, now to be clear, Dallas is currently 0-4 against teams with winning records.
Okay, well then we'll give the Chiefs that one. Let's say if they lose to the Colts.
I'm sorry. They're 0-4-1 against teams with winning
0-4-1. Okay, so let's say they lose.
They're 4-0 against teams with losing records.
So let's just say for kicks they lose to the Colts at home, which would be not a bad loss, but you really would want to win that game. And you would really hope it's a little cold, just to give the Colts a little chill, just a little bit.
A little burr.
To see if they can see how they respond. But for the most part, they should beat the Cowboys. They should beat the Texans. I'm saying shoulds, right? But these are shoulds. Right. They got the Chargers at home. They should beat the Titans. Honestly, this game against the Colts might be, if they lose this game, we're probably going to, the thing that might get them, that might benefit them, but then if I'm the Broncos, I'm going to look at this a little different. By the time they get to the Broncos, second to last game, the Broncos might have a division and could have the 1 seed wrapped up. Hypothetically.
Yeah.
Do the Broncos...
But right now, the Patriots have the 1 seed, though.
Right, so the Broncos are going to keep playing. So what you hope is, and I'm not a hater on the Chiefs or anything, but what I'm saying is, if you want to see some fresh teams or whatever, by the time they get to the Broncos in week 17, the Broncos probably are going to still be playing for something, and it's probably going to come down to that game. It's probably going to come down to that game if they make the playoffs. That's kind of what I'm getting to. Like, some of these other games are arbitrary. They might win most of them, but they can't have 7. I don't think they get in with 7 losses. So they might get one more loss, and then that's it. I don't think they get in at 10-7. I just don't see it. But that's why I was telling you before. When I look at a team like the Bills, I'm like, it's got to be utterly disappointing. They won against the Bucs this weekend. Okay, great. But dude, like, why are we celebrating that? You're supposed to be one of the dominant teams in the AFC, and we should be talking about it. What you say?
They barely beat the Bucs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it was some struggle football, because about right before halftime, I think I was in one of the group texts that I'm in, like right at halftime. It might have been right after halftime or right before halftime. I dropped in the group chat. I was like, the Bills out here looking like if Pressure Bust Pipes was a team, because they were looking terrible. And yeah, they ended up with Josh Allen having, career game, 6 touchdowns, all the things. But that's not how we started. Let's be clear. That's not how we started. Yeah, I think the key with the Bills is, and I know we jump around a little bit, but like when it comes, okay, go back to the Chiefs. Like I said, the Chiefs, again, half glass full. They've won a couple championships. They got Mahomes. They got, they still got all the pieces that will say, hey, you should be winning most of these games.
Right.
But they haven't been. If you look back to last year, that's why I said you give them credit because they were winning these close games. Now they're losing them. Now they're losing them. And they're losing, and because a lot of their losses are by 1 score. So it's kind of like, you still like, oh man, I don't want to. But then you look at the Bills and you go, dude, like, I get it. The Patriots, I said this last time, I'm like, you cannot mess around and miss this opportunity. Like, even if you play the Chiefs, they're not, like you said, the mystique is gone. Like, Like, just go play football. Like, this will be so disappointing. I'm concentrating on the Bills. If the Bills can't pull this off, and someone was talking about like a scenario where the Bills, if they don't win a division, and right now, they're going to have to hope the Patriots actually remember they are, supposed to be an up team, but tell that to Drake May and Mike Vrabel, they ain't listening right now.
Right.
But the Bills could be that team in the wild card that you don't want to see. So because of Josh Allen, so it's kind of like you got those three scenarios, right? And that's what we always talk about, the dynamics, right? Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Yep. At any point in time, those three could have the potential to beat you if you don't play
your best game.
Football, right? You got to play good football. So that's why we keep giving them the benefit of the doubt. But damn Bills, man. I'm just shaking my head at the Bills. Like y'all got to take advantage of this. Like
I was like there. Like I said, I was because one of my coworkers, he's a Bills fan, which is super
me too.
I don't know why he's a Bills fan, but they're hard to come by unless they're actually from that area. And he was like, because we were talking, because I didn't even realize that we played the Bills this year, but apparently we do. And so, but I said, if not now, when? I said, when y'all actually plan to make this happen? I said, this is like y'all's year. If y'all were going to do this, I said, if not now, when? And he was like, do we play y'all this year? And I was like, no. And then today he was like, I looked, he's like, we do play y'all in 3 weeks. I said, okay, well, we'll revisit this in 3 weeks. And so,
oh yeah, y'all play at Buffalo right after Christmas.
Yeah, he said, you want to talk about it now? I was like, nah, it's Dallas week.
No. You don't do that. No, you got to concentrate on what's right in front of you right now.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I was like, bruh, I said, that's why when you asked me, did we play or not? And I was like, nah, I don't think so. But I wasn't sure. I said, I take these games one game at a time. I said, I got to focus on what's in front of me. I said, last week was the Lions. This week is Dallas week. I'll get back to you in 3 weeks when it's your turn.
And that's the thing, too, is, yeah, you don't want to look too far ahead because when you got
I said I got to.
I mean, quite honestly,
the main thing.
But quite honestly, most of y'all games are gonna be on paper supposed to be competitive. You got the Cowboys, you got the Bears.
Yeah.
You got the Chargers. You know what? I take that back. I told you the Chargers were gonna finally charger. I don't. See, that's one of them teams that be struggling that I'd be like half glass empty. Nah, I don't care. I know they got a decent enough record that they can lose a couple and still probably get there. And like,
but did he get hurt in this game?
Who?
Herbert. Did he get hurt in this game?
I don't know, but if he did, that's a Charger. I mean, that's part of when the Chargers charger. They.
I mean, that's true too. All I know is Jacksonville thumped them boys something terrible.
And obviously Cleveland. Obviously the Chargers struggle with Jacksonville. So.
No, they didn't struggle.
No, I'm saying the last couple of times they played Jacksonville, they've lost.
Oh yeah, they definitely.
Including the playoff game. Remember the playoff game?
Yeah, I do. But Jacksonville, when I say they ran all up and down the field on them,
yeah.
Every time I turned around on red zone for that game, I looked up.
You saw ETN running down the sideline.
It was him and what's the other guy?
The other dude. I can't think his name. He was balling.
I think it's Tutn. I'm not sure how he pronounces it.
Yeah.
Tutton, something like that. Between the two of them, they were all up and down the field running.
Yeah.
Look, Sunshine didn't have to throw the ball. He didn't have to.
Sunshine was chilling.
That was wild. But I will say, let me just say, my defense looks absolutely phenomenal.
The Eagles defense is balling.
My defense looks absolutely phenomenal. And although everybody was all bent out of shape and twisted with AJ Brown, let me say this. One, he's mine and I'm going to stand beside him or whatever. And but he's not wrong. Like his cryptic tweets and so forth leading up to him actually just saying what the heck he needed to say was annoying. Sir, if you'd have just said that 4 weeks ago, we could have ended all of this back and forth and so forth. But he's not wrong that teams have adjusted since last year to our offense and what we're doing. And so we need to make the adjustments because if you think you're going to be able to just flip the switch in the playoffs, that's not necessarily going to work. You need to have gotten into a groove before then. with offense and that our defense has been bailing our offense out. None of that was incorrect and our false statements. He's not wrong in what he said. His delivery might have been off.
Yeah, he's not
But
necessarily been the most polished about trying to
yeah, like his delivery
what I always say, stay above the line as far as
right. His
yeah,
delivery was poor, but his messaging was, as far as that goes, the message was spot on. Like what he said was not wrong. I've been saying that all season. I was like, I need offense to be consistent. Now, I do take into consideration that this week and last week we played two really good defenses and still came out with the win, only scoring 16 points and 10 points. That's fantastic. However, that's not going to work in the playoffs for the most part. You're going to have to be able to put up more points than that. And this week against that Cowboys defense, although everybody today was trying to convince me that the Cowboys defense was A1 top tier, everybody relax.
I was trying to convince you to do that. Whoever it is, you don't need to talk to them anymore.
Right, because again, they played the Raiders.
They're delusional.
What the hell? They played the Raiders.
And I'm saying, and I'm like,
who doesn't look good against the Raiders?
Yeah, that's the fact that Geno didn't look good against them. That's not like that's
concerning.
That's concerning for Geno and that offense for the Raiders. That's concerning. Look, this is one thing I will actually counter you on this, because I know what you're saying and it makes sense, because this is the thinking you have to have when you say, 16 points ain't gonna cut it. 16 points ain't gonna cut it. There's only one team that I think 16 points ain't gonna cut it, and that's the Rams.
Right.
You just beat the Lions, and you beat. So what I'm saying is your defense actually might be enough to get you there.
It might
if they keep playing like that. You don't want to depend on that, but your defense is good enough when they're playing like that.
Yeah, when our defense is playing like that, don't get me wrong. But my thing is this. I'm not delusional in thinking that we're not going to see the Rams again.
No. That's my point. That's my point.
Again.
No, that's the only team, though, I could think of that if you matched up again against the Lions, I could see the same result. If you matched up again against the Packers, the Bears, okay. Like, that's the one team. You're right. The Rams. That's the only team. And the only reason is Sean McVay and Matt Stafford are going to probably go look at the tape, and you would think them two would go, okay, you know what? We had them we could have got them last year. We could have got them this year. Whatever. We got them. That's the only team. So, yeah, you got to get your act together to make sure you can beat that team. And I'm not saying sleep on the rest of them, but I mean, if you go up against the Bucs, I can see y'all doing that to the Bucs. I can see y'all doing that to the Seahawks. Like, I can see y'all beating the Seahawks 16-10. I can see it. I just saw Sam Darnold throw 4 picks.
Struggle. But here's my thing also. When you get to the playoffs, it can happen that way. But let's not make it harder than it has to be, guys. Like, let's not.
I get it.
Let's go ahead and be good in all 3 phases of the game, like we were last year when we got to the playoffs. We were good in all 3 phases of the game and all of the games that matter.
Understood.
And right now, we're good on special teams and defense. We are not good on offense. We are okay. We're fair to middling, as people will say. We fair to middling on offense. And yes, the last 2 weeks we've played really good defenses. So offense has not looked. They've looked worse than they did even in the beginning of the season. But like and I'm not saying that offense is terrible, but I need them to be more consistent with because currently we lead the league in 3 and outs. That's not good. You don't win a Super Bowl that way.
So here's what I saw. I was listening to the morning show, and I forgot. I got to look this guy up because it's very rare when you hear someone has some like actual NFL commentary that's like, damn, he's right on point about that. And like you could tell that he did his homework and he was really like getting the information he needs, the intel from certain players and coaches. He said that the reason why the Eagles offense has been spotty is because they said since, and I forgot what it was, but it was like week 4 of last year, they said they told Jalen, they told Jalen Hurts, don't try to do more than what you need based on the rhythm of the game. And they said he's so and they said he doesn't get enough credit for his cerebral approach to the game. Like Jalen doesn't get enough right, and so he's risk averse. So he's got the skill set to react when he sees an opportunity, but the intelligence to say, I'm throwing it away. No, I'm gonna run for this one. And he's like, if more quarterbacks had that, it'll be interesting how many of these other teams that are so mediocre would be winning a little bit more games, collectively. But he said the Eagles did that, and they said it's just the fact that you had Saquon Barkley in that offensive line playing at an elite level last year. To your point, there were
more explosive plays with the run.
Right, and of course he's exploded. They said this year, he said if you look at the tape, he said Jalen is playing almost identical to how he was playing last year. It's just that teams are playing a little bit better in scheming against some of the things that you guys do. Right. But they were like, but Jalen has still, they keep telling Jalen, just keep rolling. And as long as y'all keep winning, the guy was like, I don't see a reason. Say it doesn't look great, but they keep winning. So what do? You see what I'm saying? And so it's kind of like you're kind of caught in the middle a little bit, that you wanted to look better. But
and don't get me wrong, I'm not at all laying this.
I thought that was a real good take on that. I thought that was really good.
And I'm not at all laying this at the feet of Jalen Hurts by any
means. Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Because I absolutely feel like he doesn't get enough credit for doing what he does, and I'll stand 10 toes down on that all the time. And so, because I'm okay with you not turning over the ball, and it doesn't have to be pretty. A dub's a dub.
Yeah,
a dub's a dub. But, and I just want, like I said, I would even just feel better if we just had more of a consistent rhythm, because for me, it's the we are leading the league in 3 and outs.
Yeah, that's tough. Awesome. But that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure on your special teams and defense to keep performing.
Right. Like that's awful. It's like,
at least eat the clock a little bit. At least eat the clock a little bit.
Right. Like that's my whole thing. Like sometimes I'm like, okay, guys, because again, we've given defense a lead for them to protect, but help them boys out. Like help them out, because even if you don't, and when we played on Sunday night, the wind was brutal in Philly, so we weren't gonna be able to do no long field goals. The wind was winding.
Yeah,
the wind was winding. But at the very least, could we have sustained a drive to get down to like the 20 and just give them some rest for there?
Right.
That's all I'm asking for. I'm asking for some consistency in performance and staying on the field. Gotcha. We don't listen, because again, I don't care. I was like 10 points, and the fact that we held the Lions to 6, because if there was one game that I was going to be like, when I was looking at the schedule, and
everybody looked at that game. Everybody was waiting.
I looked at that game and was like, and not that I was like, it's a measuring stick for us, but that was the game that I looked at and was like, oh, we're gonna have to put up 40.
Let me see here. What was the other game I wanted to talk through about? Okay, so Vikings. Okay, can we just put a fork in the JJ McCarthy experience for right now? Like, they lost to the Bears. Like, the Bears, it got to be the worst 73 team I've ever seen. They got to be the worst 73 team I've ever seen. And I'm not saying that because I'm hating. I'm just saying they just don't. Like, if you saw that team play, you was like, they 7-3? What the hell are y'all doing?
Yeah, they don't look at it at all.
Everybody's giving them their worst effort. The Bears are getting everyone's worst effort. Think about it. Think about all these games. No, I'm saying, think about this. The Bears. Oh God. Look, the Vikings. Okay, the Giants in. The Bungles. The Ravens beat them. Yeah. The Saints. The Commanders. I mean, honestly, they've beaten a lot of bad teams, which they supposed to. Like, actually, all of their wins, think about this. All of their wins They actually lost to the Vikings in the first game of the season. We forget about that, but they had the lead, and that's when J.J. McCarthy got hot in that fourth quarter.
Right, and he came back.
And he came back and they won.
People, I was like, because everybody was like, they need J.J. McCarthy.
And they started crowning him,
like,
already crowning him as a, you know.
I was like, J.J. McCarthy had one good quarter. He played one good quarter.
And then they lost to the Bears. Lost to the Lions. And everybody's like, oh, Lord, here we go, 0-2. But then they beat the Cowboys. Not a great team. They beat the Raiders. Not a great team.
Not a
great team. They beat the Saints. Not a great team. Who else they beat? They beat the Bungles. Not a great team. They beat the Giants. So they basically just, they're living off the bad teams.
They beat bad teams. But they barely beat bad teams because they've had to come from behind against the Bengals. They had to come from behind against the Giants.
They came from behind against
They came from behind against.
They had to lead against the Ravens. Had to lead.
They had to lead against the Ravens and lost it.
But look, you give them credit. It's 73, but they got real games coming up here. That's what I was gonna say. Like they're 73, but they actually got real games.
We play them in 2 weeks.
Yeah, y'all play them in a couple weeks. That's gonna be that's gonna be an interesting game. But what we thought was gonna be a hard game, they play the Packers. Packers are beatable. All right, week 12, man. So we talked about that Colts and Chiefs. So like I said, the Chiefs might get one more loss, but then
where is the game? It's in KC.
It's in Kansas City. That's why I said it's in Kansas City. So they might want it to be a little cold, just to give the Chiefs something to Colts something to think about. But I'm gonna say this. Apologize to my Colts people. I'm gonna give the Chiefs one more shot, and I'm gonna give them this a win in a close, ugly game. And I did that last week. I took the Chiefs, and clearly I shouldn't have, because I was like, ain't no way the Chiefs gonna go down. I thought the Broncos was gonna get them just because of that. Ever since I done visited that stadium and saw that stadium, I was like, freaking Chiefs, the Broncos got me, boy. You play in that damn stadium, you better be ready to play. Because that damn stadium, that Mile High Airs ain't nothing to mess with. But
ain't nothing to mess with.
Yeah, ain't nothing to mess with. Even when I was visiting the stadium, I'm like, I was like, dang, like maybe it's just mental. Like I feel it. Like what we doing? I'm walking around I can't breathe. I can't. We just can we take a break on the tour?
No, but the Chiefs, I want to say this is the first time, but the Broncos hadn't beaten the Chiefs in 1,000 years. I feel like.
Yeah. Same thing with the Bill. It was almost like the same with the Dolphins when they beat the Bills. They hadn't beat them in 20 games, like 15 games or 16 games.
Yeah, and like when the Giants beat us this year, that's the first time they had beat us in 5 years.
So I'm gonna go Chiefs in a close one, ugly.
I'm gonna take the Chiefs in this one. Look, for
that'll be the last
part of me takes the Colts, but I don't know the Colts on the road. Although they've been playing some good football on the road, they're a little sketchy.
Yeah, they're shaky. A little shaky.
Yeah, they a little sketchy on the road. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs in this one.
One shaky.
Who else we got?
Bills at Texans on Thursday. We missed that. If the Bills don't win this game, they should just don't play no more. Just don't play no more.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills. I'm gonna take the Bills in that one.
And CJ Stroud not even playing. It didn't matter if he was playing. I think. Anyway, Seattle and the Titans. Seattle get back on track.
I'm gonna take Seattle.
Yeah, they'll get back on track. Vikings and the Packers.
Ugh.
They're in Green Bay. That's all I got.
It's in Green Bay.
Packers. Yeah, they're in Green Bay.
Then I'm gonna take the Packers.
But they're banged up. They're so banged up. Like they're just because Jordan Love even got nicked up in that game. They're banged up. Jets and Ravens, man. Ravens are salivating at the mouth right now. They're gonna win that game.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Ravens.
They're gonna win that game by 20. I think this will be one of those games that they win by like 20 or something like that. I think they'll come back and bounce back. The Jets are playing inspired football for Aaron Glenn, but it ain't gonna be enough. It ain't gonna be enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Ravens.
Giants and the Lions. The Lions get back on track.
Taking the Lions.
Bears at the Steelers. We talked about this earlier. Oh God, I'm sorry. I just saw N1. I'm watching this game upstairs. Steelers and the Bears.
Okay. I don't know because I don't know who's starting for the Steelers, but I'm gonna take the Steelers.
They basically said Aaron Rodgers is day to day and said he was fine. He could start. Again, the Bears defense is going to let the Steelers be in the game. So you can take whatever team. If Aaron Rodgers starts, it's a no-brainer for me that the Steelers will win. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't start,
and I feel like if Mason Rudolph starts, there's a chance. I'm saying there's a chance that the Bears are, he gonna keep him in the game.
Yeah. I might have to go with the Steelers on the road on that one. Patriots and the Broncos. Patriots and the Broncos.
Please know that it's subject to change if Aaron Rodgers isn't starting.
Right. Patriots and the Bungles without Jamar Chase, Spitgate. That should be at least a 20-point win.
I'm gonna take the Patriots even if Jamar Chase was playing.
If he was playing, it would be a 10-point win.
But yeah, they're still not winning.
Yeah, it'll still be double digits.
Yeah.
Just 20 versus 10, 15, whatever. The not so want to watch game of the week, the Browns at the Raiders. And funny as it kept, I'm going to give Shadeur Sanders his first win of his career because of the Browns defense. Because of the Browns defense.
I can see that.
The Browns, that final score 16-10.
I think you're giving them too many points. But
okay. I was giving them an extra field goal at the end of the game. I was going 13-10.
I was looking more.
The Raiders are going to. Raiders are getting stopped on fourth down.
10-6.
Raiders are going to get stopped on fourth down in their own territory. Then the Browns are going to kick another field goal, and it's going to be 16-10 in the final.
You make me tired.
It'll be 13-10. Raiders will have the ball with a chance to tie, and they're going to get stopped. Myles Garrett to get a sack. Somebody was talking about the day that he wasted his career. I said, that's on him. He signed the contract. He could have left.
Right. Sir, you demanded a trade and then you signed.
Right. He could have left. Jaguars at the Cardinals. Look. I mean, the Jaguars, every time you think they're going to win a game, they lose. I actually might pick the Cardinals in this one. Because every time we pick against the Jaguars, they win. Every time you pick them, they lose. I'm gonna take the Cardinals, which means they're gonna win.
They're in Arizona.
Yeah, they're in the desert. They're in the desert. Yes, they are.
And
I know that's a tough one though. That is a tough one to be honest with you. Because the Cardinals, you don't really want to. The Cardinals are banged up too though. Now that I think about it, I might have to go.
I'm gonna take Jacksonville in this.
I'm gonna take Jacksonville. The Cardinals are banged up. The Cardinals are banged up. They're really.
I'm gonna take Jacksonville in this one. I'm not really sure it's gonna be that might be my second. I really don't have to watch that game scenario.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that one. Let's get these few out of the way. Saints home to the Falcons.
Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons probably. They better save their coach's job. If they lose that game, he's definitely gone.
Done.
Let's just put it that way. If the Falcons lose that game against the Saints, he's gone. He's gone. Like gone. He might go that week. He might go that Monday. He might be home for Thanksgiving. I'm playing when I say this, but he could be home for Thanksgiving. Like anyway. Panthers at the 49ers. That's actually the Monday night game. Panthers at the 49ers. That's an actually interesting game.
I'm taking the 49ers.
I'm going to take the 49ers again because Panthers are half glass empty and the 49ers are half glass full, if you know what I'm saying. Mediocre teams, but the 49ers got a little bit more, I think, in their home. Bucks and the Rams.
Taking the Rams.
I'm taking the Rams. I think the Bucks, they're losing their juice, man. All these injuries and stuff are starting to get to them. All these injuries, like you can't overcome everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't. Right. And I told somebody, I was like, it's not like this team ran away with the division last year. They're a good football team. They're okay, but if Baker is not completely on his game, they lose all these. They're losing all of the close games now. So
yeah.
And then your Eagles at the Cowboys. I mean,
I'm taking my Eagles.
Eagles are half glass full. I mean, like I told you, that's how I think. Right? That's how I'm thinking. Half glass,
Okay, well,
half glass empty.
even if they weren't, I'm still taking my Eagles.
Well, of course you're gonna take the Eagles. I ain't asking you. That's for me. You got any trips coming up? Anything?
Yeah, I fly out on
You go to Dallas, right?
Friday for Dallas. Yep, going to Dallas.
Yeah, man.
So we fly.
Stadium.
Our flight leaves at 7:40 in the morning. Jesus. So I got to be at the airport at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Did you get tickets to the game? You got tickets, right? Okay. Yeah. You're gonna like that. That's gonna be a good experience. You're gonna.
Yeah, we're going to the game. Actually, because we get in at like 9:40. So I actually last night got tickets to go on the tour for the stadium.
Tour. Yeah. I just want to know. Is the hardcore girl from Philly an Eagles fan gonna take a picture on the star?
and is look in her Eagles gear.
Yeah, man, do it. Please do it and post it.
In her Eagles gear, gonna be out there on the star.
Please post it.
I'm like.
Oh my God! Please post that. That's a terrible call. Yeah, please post that. I was here thinking, I was like,
we are going to wear the Super Bowl champion shirt to the tour.
Yeah, please. Cool. Well, have a good time. Safe.
All right.
I'll catch you later.
All right. Peace.
Yep. Peace.